So we're at the Pickwick Mill in Pickwick, Minnesota. Diane's getting her camera ready here. I gotta tell you, there's so many adjustments on that camera that I could never ever pick that camera up and use it. I'm using the simple one and it's got all these buttons and it's like, I just want to be able to turn it on and use it. Anyway, we're going to show you the Pickwick Mill. It was built in 1854 through 1858. So it took them 4 years to get that going. One of the things about this mill is that when it started, it was actually a sawmill. And then it changed to a flour mill. And I'll tell you more about it as we go. Just about ready, sweets?
Yeah.
There's a couple of grinding wheels, grinding stones. I think, yeah, the water wheel's turning down there. I'm going to see if we can get another shot of it somewhere else. I don't know if you can hear that. Well, down there is where it all starts. That would be your water coming into your water wheel. I'll show you a little bit better clip of that. And that's the power that ran the mill, was the water. It goes into the wheel, and then, I don't know, there's a gear down there that goes back into the mill, and that runs all the power for everything that was going on. So this is where it would all start for the farmers bringing in their grain, where you see this chute. And they would empty their grain into this chute, and it would go into a hopper, and I'll show you that as soon as I get inside in my next clip.
Would you like to do a tour today?
No, we're just kind of being nosy.
Okay. Well, if you want to look around.
So this is that hopper.
I can tell you a little bit about it, and we do like to have those over here.
Now this is just a little bit about the construction.
No, and these do run when we run out of equipment, when we have tours, plus tours.
Oh, check out this. This is good history. This is the grain elevator. You'll see several of these in here.
The flour mill was built in 1850, and the
These,
farmers would bring their grain. This is where it would go into this hopper.
Would carry the grain up to the other two floors.
All the way down to.
The sluice gate will allow the water to hit the water wheel. Open it more than over an inch. This week. When I pop this clutch, start all machinery.
These are rolling mills. This is the more modern way of making flour.
So we're in the lower level, and I just wanted to show some of these gears. The belts aren't moving down here right now, but we were told that one Saturday a month they'll have a couple of tours, and they'll run all of these belts on every floor. So I just wanted to show some of these massive gears, if you can see them in there. It's kind of interesting how that's all put together in order to work. And they do demonstrations here, like once a year in September. They have what they call their old mill weekend, and they've got the whole mill running at that point. Here's what that water wheel looks like from the lower level. It's actually a sub-level to this too that it just went down into. Shows the shaft from the water turbine. They've restored a lot of this building, from when it was built, but I wanted to give you an idea. Look at the timbers that are holding this thing up. That's a pretty cool looking sign. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe 40s or 50s, but I'm not sure. A few of these floors are like museums. Well, the whole place is like a museum. Well, this is the type of thing you'll see along your way. Check out this old door. Look at that stenciling. Is that cool or what? So we've been down, we started on the first floor. Then we went to the basement. we thought. Then there was a sub-basement. We were in there. Then we came up to the second floor, and that's where those cases were, museum cases. And now we're heading up to the third floor. And in between each floor are these steps. And you can see names on every step, on the riser and on the tread. And, you know, those are names of people that put forth donations when they were restoring this old mill. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm walking up the steps, and here's one that really hit my mind. Look at this. Company B, 2nd Wisconsin. Civil War reenactors. Hey, I know those guys. They're pretty cool guys. So now we're up on the third floor. We'll see what's up here. Well, I don't see a real lot up here. But they have these machines up here, and they're all on pulleys. And like I say, they're all connected, so every once in a while they'll run them so people can see what they're all about. There's my better half. This is pretty interesting how all these gears and wheels and pulleys are all in a row like this. That would be running everything that was going on. And this is the top main elevator. Gee, I thought I was at the top floor and I wasn't. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels, did I count? 5 or 6. Wow. There's a nice collection of flour bags. Gunny sacks. See if I can give you an idea how high up we are.
We actually walk in on the 3rd level. That's a street level.
So the street level is the 3rd level that we walk in on. That's how that works. And there's 2 levels below that and 3 levels above it. Check out these walls. This is all limestone that was came from the area that they built the mill with. You can see some of the old timbers above the windows. So as long as I'm here, I wanted to show you this barrel. This is a typical barrel that would have been used when they were milling flour and would have been shipped all over the country wherever they were shipping their flour. And you know, this is a good time to talk about this because this mill was in use during the Civil War and actually made flour for the Union Army. So I found that really interesting. The mill was working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they made 100 barrels of flour every single day. And there was 196 pounds of flour in each barrel. So if you were thinking about the pounds per day of flour, you've got 100 barrels, 196 pounds of flour. That was 19,600 pounds of flour every day that was made in this mill. And you talk about, you know, how did that flour get out to the soldiers? Well, naturally, it was in riverboats and trains, and it made its way to wagons. And I found some interesting history about that too. It took 147 wagons for 100,000 men to feed them for one day. Now, the amount of wagons it used, like I said, 147, that could go up to 192 wagons, depending on how many barrels they could carry in the wagon. They had to sit down, they had to figure out the terrain, the roads. If they were nice, straight, even roads, they could carry 13 barrels in a wagon. And if the roads weren't nice and straight and you had a rough terrain, they could carry as little as 8, because they had to figure out the weight of each barrel and then calculate the strength of the horses.
Mules.
The mules, I'm sorry, it was
16
mules. It was mules. So, I mean, back then they had to calculate this all on paper. You know, they didn't have calculators, so they could just push some buttons. I mean, how many guys could probably sit down and do this today, I wonder? I mean, you go to a restaurant nowadays, a fast food place, and hey, if they ring you up and you give them a couple extra cents, they're lost. They don't know how to count the change back. And this is a really mathematical deal. Anyway, I found a lot of information about that on the United States Army Transportation Corps website. And I'm going to put a link to that in our annotations here in our description. Transportation.army.mil. And just the amount of information that they talk about, figuring out the gross weight, the net weight, and what was that other weight they were talking about?
It was
The difference.
the empty weight.
Yeah, an empty weight, so that they could figure out how to ship these and how many they could ship at one time. So I just think that this barrel is a pretty interesting part of our history when you think about that. And that would lead me to my next question. When you think about all the flour that was being made, if someone sat down and made some hardtack, how many pieces of hardtack could you get out of 196 pounds of flour? That's one barrel. We need a chef and a mathematician to figure that one out. Well, that's just food for thought.
No pun intended.
No pun intended, yep. Well, we hope you like that. I know when I get into places like that, I could spend the whole day looking at everything.
Yeah, lots to look at in there.
I really like that, their first bookkeeper. I thought that was pretty good. See a picture there of a Civil War soldier. So, you know, he had that part of himself in that life, you know. Anything that can connect me to the Civil War, I love. Well, we'll see you on our next one. Yes?
Yeah.
So, hey, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll catch you later. Bye.